Are social media sites like Facebook affecting the way we communicate and interact with each other? Recently, I've noticed that I've developed a really bad habit of constantly checking my Facebook. Every now and again, I find my attention is lost in a sea of information due to the convenience of social media. As a result, I have found myself investing more and more of my time on social media. I also believe I'm not alone and that others suffer from this online addiction. So, in this video, I'll be exploring the possible effects this has had on the way we interact and communicate, and also how this could potentially be shaping our society. Technology has always been the main driving force behind our improved ability to communicate. And as time has progressed, our tools and technologies have developed and given us more options in which we can communicate with each other. In a time before the internet, we had other conventional systems and ways of communicating, such as meeting up in public places, sending letters to a pen pal, telegrams, postcards while on holiday, and telephone calls. So, how do we communicate now? Times have changed yet again, and the conventional methods of communication that were once most popular among older generations has now almost become completely taken over by the technological advances of the digital age, or information age. As a result, it has now become much easier than ever before to communicate with people on the internet through things like social media and the plethora of computer-based tools we are provided with. While writing my dissertation, I was fortunate enough to interview 4 different people who each had unique experiences with social media. The remainder of this video will be a compilation of these interviews.
I'm Joseph Marks.
I am Emmy.
My name's Richard Michael Hardy.
My name's Ashley.
I started using social media in 2006.
I don't know when I started, probably about 14, I think.
I started using social media first when I was 18, but it was like a one-off on a little forum, but when I actually got like Facebook and got like a proper account and that kind of stuff and kept open, it was when I was about, I want to say 23.
I've been using social media since I was 14.
When my friends started using Facebook and I got in it as well. Thought it was sick.
I used Bebo when that was a thing, because my friend used it, so she made me an account.
I found out about it because my college friends were on it, my university friends in America, and that's where it started. And I had like 3 or 4 invites, so I was like, what the fuck is this Facebook thing? And I went on, and there was already pictures of me tagged, so I was like, nah, that's handy.
I think everyone in my year was talking about it, so I wanted to see what it was and just joined.
It's like show and tell, but from home.
It was okay. I had several accounts because the nerdiness was in.
I thought it would be like a nice place to have a repository for my photos and my memories in the future, somewhere online. It was pretty much like High Five at the time, but it was just a nicer interface. It, looked a little bit more sleek, and it had the poke function, which was really cool.
It was crap.
There was more tools involved. Like you could create events now and help me meet people who I've never met before.
People had accounts for characters, so I made one for, I think, for Eowyn, because that was like the height of my Lord of the Rings hype right there. When I started with Bebo, I think I was like, what do I like? What can I put on my page?
There weren't really that many benefits before, but now it's one central location that I can use. Like, I lost my phone the other day, fell in the toilet. I still have a way to communicate both with work, my family, my social life, and any kind of business work that I'm doing.
Nothing. I mean, just talking to your friends, but then I would see them every day anyway, and then there's a thing called a phone, but,
We can now say what we want when we want, granting us the ability to have a much larger social circle. This has its advantages, allowing for people with the same ideas, interests and opinions to connect with each other through sharing information on the internet.
What, on Facebook?
Yeah.
Like 80?
I don't know. I didn't really add anyone that I don't know. And for some reason, I accepted friend requests from people at school that I didn't like, and who obviously didn't like me. I don't know why they were adding me.
I do not know. I cannot remember. I can say anywhere from 76 to 300. It's somewhere in there.
I don't know. Not many.
My friends on Facebook at the time were people in my school, like friends, I don't know, people that I thought were cool, so I added them and then started talking to people.
People from school, I guess, like actual friends, and other people that I just knew, and they were like, hey, you should add this guy. Like, oh look, they added you, accept. Okay.
Facebook friends at the time, I think it was my best friends that I hanged around with in school, and eventually the friendship groups just got bigger and more people were added.
It used to be just talking to people and putting up stupid statuses and stuff to see what people think of what I think. I don't know, putting my opinions on the internet, seeing what more people think of it. It's like talking to a crowd of people, but yeah, kind of.
I've never really been very active with Facebook. I just mostly use it for Messenger, and that's always seems to be the case. So yeah, Messenger.
That's a really, really long answer because Facebook's changed a lot. Yeah, like I now use it for my group messages for my band. I use it to organise events for my band. I use it to organise parkour events, going to parkour events, organising with people I've never met before in countries, going to countries I've never been before. Whenever I'm going travelling, talking to people on it. The house I live in has a Facebook group, so a lot of communication. And then Facebook has become a lot more business-like. Because of course before it wasn't trying to make any money. It was just a social media site. Now it's publicly traded. So it commoditized everything, which I really never liked.
Well, now I use Facebook to get in contact for work, so I guess using it now has benefited me in my freelancing career, but using it back then, it was just useless.
I don't know.
Pretty much my Facebook is always open when I've got online because people will message me. I don't really scroll through Facebook much, but when I go on Tumblr, I will scroll through for ages. Especially if I'm just getting into like a new fandom and I'm just like, oh, what's the fan art like? And it's always amazing.
It's always open. It's open right now. Constant line to it. So I guess I'm always technically on it. I scroll through a lot. I keep my newsfeed on most recent instead of most popular, so I can try and look at everybody's thing that they post. But it gets a bit mind-numbing.
I think social media does take up the majority of my day.
I feel like I'm a big part of the parkour community around Facebook and Instagram, and everyone who does parkour is basically friends with everyone else who does parkour. And so when something's posted, everyone sees it who's in the community. If it gets big enough, it's just like a little community, even though it's by accident, because everyone knows each other and everyone's friends with people they've not even met, just fans.
At conventions and stuff, if you meet someone, then it's easy to kind of keep in contact with them if you've got Facebook, because you're like, oh, I know that person. Yeah. The Maggie is one of the animes that I love. So there's a cosplay page for that, and it's good because it's easy to keep in contact with those people, and then you can see what kind of cosplays they're doing, and whenever there's a new chapter up, someone will say, oh look, it's been translated, go read it. Every fandom has like a cosplay page. There's loads for Dragon Ball, there's a UK one, and then there's like a Southwest one, and there's got loads.
I was a part of a few online communities. I don't feel like I am anymore. Felt like I was part of Vlogbrothers. I was also part of like the whole parkour scene and stuff, but I've kind of gotten away from being on the online side of that a bit. But I still keep in contact with the people via social media that I met via parkour, so technically I'm still part of it.
I think I'm part of an online community. I think.
Any kind of smaller niche communities that have sprung up naturally in the urban landscape sometimes have hard times communicating with each other, the artistry and how to do their new form. With social media, YouTube and Facebook especially, it has allowed people to connect with one another when they see each other online and learn from each other directly things that they may not be able to otherwise learn. I think that's true for both the parkour community and the Vlogbrothers community, because it inspires us and it inspires us to change, because we see other people doing things that are well within our limitations, so we push ourselves to go there.
In today's society, if you have something to say, you are pretty much able to say it through social media. This means that social networks like Facebook can be used as a tool for self-expression, whether it's through sharing statuses, photos, or videos.
I'm more confident with speaking with people online because there's no awkwardness. You can't tell the awkward silence because there isn't one. It's just texting, messaging. There can't really be awkwardness over texting, I don't think.
Depends on the people. I guess online is easier because you don't have to actually see them and you can edit what you're saying. I say stupid stuff a lot, so yeah, it's better to just kind of type stuff up and think about it before you send it. Although I feel like some people don't think about stuff before they send it because no filter.
In person, you can read their body language. Body language is 80% of how we communicate. If you're not paying attention to how people are standing, moving, talking, interacting with the world, then you're missing out a lot. I feel confident in that way because I've lived and interacted with a lot of people. So I can understand people feeling more confident behind a keyboard because it's never going to end up in physical violence unless someone pings your IP and comes for you.
I'd say I'm more confident in talking online because you're behind the screen.
I feel like I'm the same on the internet compared to real life, but when I'm online, I get to put my opinions out there without being interrupted, or like it's just I put it there like as a status or a tweet or something. It's like there's no one talking over you when you're giving an opinion, like a quote, an expression without being interrupted when you're online.
I don't know.
That's right.
No. Everything I say face to face, I say online too. Just use a bit too much emoji.
Yes. It's made me proud to be a human. I see a lot of really, really good and just honest to God love and outpouring of the average person. There's arseholes everywhere, but not the average person is not a douchebag. And that's what it's got me to know, because before I was a lot more slanted to the idea that no, the average person is a douchebag. But this may be because I have chosen my friends and they reinforce my values and I feel safe and comfortable in my bubble that I've created. I do not know.
Both. I don't know. It's good for networking to a certain extent, and it's a great way to waste time.
Both, a bit of both.
It's a tool. It's a tool to get me to do more things in life. Otherwise, that's not something I want in my life. That goes for my band, my parkour, my family, all my relationships. It's all about finding something more from this existence that we're in for a bit. Otherwise, I don't want a part of it.